everyone, and welcome to Club Reaction to Rangers 1, Ross County 0. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. Alex Pearson.
Glad I come down for this one, lads. After my Christmas night out, like last night with the work, I really didn't want to come down, and that cheered me up. That
Scotia.
Absolutely fantastic. Such an enjoyable game of football to come along to see. Not.
Right.
I'm just glad it's Christmas. That's all I care about. So, Merry Christmas, everyone.
One thing I've learned tonight is that Rabbi Matondo should never play for Rangers ever again, and I was right all along, and Ryan's even got nothing to come back to with that. Tonight was a slog, man, an absolute slog, and I think that's saying it politely. We were expecting changes. I think the changes surprised quite a few. McLaughlin came in, obviously with the scene of the return of Goldson and Davies at the back, and then the midfield of Lundstrom, Arfield and Kamara. If any time you want to see a game that shows that Arfield is not a starter, tonight is definitely it. And then no one else up front. It was Kent, Sakala and Tillman. A bit strange, Ali.
It was weird when I seen Sakala through the middle. I thought it was a bit weird. I know he scored 2 and 2, Sakala, but I don't think he's good enough to lead through the middle. Sakala, like you say, Arfield in the middle of the park. He's an impact player. This is why you don't play him, because he was anonymous in that game.
Yeah. Scotia, you along the same lines of that?
See, when I seen the back five, that's all right, back five. And then I was watching it on Sky Sports as the wee ticker tape ran, and I was like, okay. And there was all these questions. You were like, oh, okay, who's that? Oh, and there was all these wee different ones. I thought the back five seemed all right. I've got a thing in the next 2 games we'll discuss, but I thought the back five was fine. But midfield to front, I was a wee bit confused with.
Yeah, Ryan, when I came in to the pub, you went, have you seen the team? And I went, no. Like, oh, it's up on the telly, watch it, and I made this face. As if, what's happening?
As did everyone who's seen the team. I don't know, obviously you always expect a kind of striker. You expect Morelos or Cholak to play up front, especially after Bill saying that we'd potentially play 2 up front. Sakala will never lead a line for Rangers, whether you like him or you don't like him, and I totally get the arguments for liking him and for not liking him. Fashion Sakala will never lead the line for Glasgow Rangers. However, it just feels like overall we're going to dig into the game, but Beale, you can't polish a turd, and that's kind of where we're at the moment.
I kind of think you're right, mate. I kind of think we are at that point just now. Ali, the only positive from that was, and we've just slated Sakala because he was god awful, man, he was, but he got himself an assist tonight. Okay, it's just a square pass to Lundstrom, but Lundstrom gets a goal. Genuinely, that's probably the only real positive that comes from near enough the entire match.
Yeah, the only other positive I would say was a clean sheet after shipping 4 goals in the last 2 games. With a clean sheet, Davies and Goldson were back there, which I was happy to see going forward, especially for the second, that they'll be back there. But it's not great. That's 3 games we've seen under Beale, and let's be honest about it, it's been poor. Apart from the second half against Hibs, where I thought we were very good.
Yep.
We have been extremely poor, and it just, what Ryan just said there about you can't polish a turd, it's these same players, and to me, I've said it for day one, they're not up to it, and a lot of them need to be shipped out in the summer.
Yeah, Scotia, I think we're all coming round to the idea of that. I suppose that it is the players, it isn't the manager. I mean, I do think Gio had a massive part to play in the negativity of the football that we were seeing. I can see what Beale's trying to do, but ultimately the players are not doing what they're getting asked to do.
A lot of the players aren't good enough right now. I mean, do we need to speak about certain individuals right now? Probably can. Tav is like sticking out like a sore thumb right
Absolutely,
there. I mean, I think this has happened ever since Ali went up and spoke to his mum. I can only apologise that I've let Ali do this to everyone, because
Why did you do that?
It's your fault. It's your fault, because Sozzy was such a credit to yourself and herself, and Tav's just went off a cliff recently, and he keep on getting told, he had an injury before Gio left, and then he's had like a couple of knocks he's played through before. Tav was woeful tonight. I mean, I'm struggling to give pass marks to 2 players, maybe 3. And again, and this happened, in fact this happened the game against, did we play Hibs? First half against Hibs, the goalkeeper, the left back and Ryan Kent were probably the only 3 that deserved slight pass marks.
Yeah, Ryan, I think look, you can see what Beale's trying to do. I don't think you can really deny. You can see what he's trying to do. However, it's the players at his disposal right now. It's just, it isn't going to cut it.
No, it's not going to cut it, and I think it's a good thing, and I know a lot of people won't see this, but I think it's a good thing that he's seen, like I said in the last pod, the warts and the spots and everything about this team, all the negatives. You are seeing the negatives now. You're seeing why we are, well, I know 6 points at the moment, but you're seeing why we're so far behind that lot, because these players don't have it. They don't have the mentality or the ability or both. You're starting to see that, and it's good that Beale's seen that, because I would imagine he's making a list of players who are surplus to requirements and what he needs to bring in for the team to start kicking on, because we can't keep going to the well with the likes of the individuals that are falling out of form at the moment. We cannot keep going to the well for them. Arfield is brilliant. He's a great impact player, but you bring him off the bench, he's not a starter. One of us, I think it was yourself, Callum, who called it, he's going to play poorly tonight, and it's because
he was.
Scott Arfield is inconsistent, and that's why he's with us. He scored a lot of big important goals, like the Liverpool goal and against Celtic in the semi-final last year, and those 2 goals against Aberdeen, and he's got that in his locker. Is he a starter for Rangers? No, he's absolutely not. No, if we want to kick on and we want to win trophies, he is not the player to it's a consistent first team 11. He's not, and he's not the only one. There are a number of players who need to move on, and I hope off the back of performances like that, Beale is making a short list of players who are going to be moved on in the summer.
Yeah, I can't disagree, mate. I can't disagree. I called it as soon as Arfield was starting. I was like, he'll be shocking tonight. I was like, he'll not do anything. And I don't particularly like being like this after Rangers get a win. It is a win, okay, that's important, and that's what Beale needs to build on, is the fact that we have won 3 games on the bounce right now. However, the performance is nowhere near what you would expect. There's far too many players just really not meeting the standard, and there's still a lot of work to be done. Ali, Rabbi Matondo,
the best young Welshman we all know.
I don't like to be like, again, I know some people like to think that I'm laughing and joking about it. I want every Rangers player to succeed. He's god awful.
Yeah, we all have a bit of a laugh about Matondo, but it's not a laugh. We paid £3 million for this boy, and he's done absolutely nothing for me. I think it summed up when he was through and goal at the end there, and he tries to go by the keeper. Keeper reads him, and he's got to either shoot or square. Kent's a square ball for a tap in, and it's 2-0. But Matondo, I said it to you, Karen, ages ago. I went, why were Schalke willing to get rid of this boy when they paid all that money for him? There's got to be a reason behind it, and well, obviously we know the reason. We're into Christmas time now, and Matondo hasn't kicked up £3 million on him. See if we'd spent 500 grand, $1 million on him, you could maybe go, right, he's work in progress, whatever. But for me, he's not got it, Matondo. I can see he's not got it. He falls into the kind of Sakala camp, but to me, Sakala gives you a wee bit more. But Matondo, I have a laughing joke, but he's a no for me, Matondo. He's one to ship out if we can ship out in the summer.
Even he's saying that, Scotia, Ali's saying that, Sakala must have sat after tonight.
Oh no, definitely sat, and I'm disagreeing with that, because Sakala was we didn't really spend, outlay $1.5 million.
Is that
tops on Sakala? Whereas Matondo was $3.5 million from. Was that for Club Brugge? Schalke, yeah. So you're playing 3.5, and they signed him from Man City for about $8 million. And they're going like, right, we need rid of this player. So like,
that's my theory.
Yeah, no, you're right. But it's at least Sakala gives us the games against Motherwell like a couple of seasons back where he was absolutely outstanding. Yeah. And Sakala does these mental things. Sakala done the mental thing tonight. He's still having a party with Morelos up in Aberdeen. Yeah. You know, he's forgot that picking up Petitoji, playing up in Dingwall, but he'll do this. Rangers were, that's what 45 minutes of the last 3 games we've seen Rangers been decent, and the rest of it we've been poor again. And this is Beale's team now, but it's the same problems that Gio had to face.
Yeah.
So it's next week gives me a wee bit of fear, if you're being honest.
Yeah, I think, Ryan, probably the positive that we can take from it is we won the game. In the past, I know it's easy to say, I get it. Under Gio, we probably maybe don't win that game because it took a long shot from Lundstrom, a shot from range by Lundstrom for us to take the lead. But everything else apart from that, there's not a lot to go on that.
Yeah, I think I would totally agree with you. Now, also to give Bill credit, I believe, I know I wasn't on the reaction pod for Aberdeen. I don't think we're winning the Aberdeen game under Broncos. I don't, because I think players get forward. You can see a change in attitude. You said at the beginning of the pod, there's a change in attitude. There's almost a kind of mentality of trying to pass the ball forward, even if it's maybe not the obvious path. They are trying to pass the ball forward.
Yep.
But the ability's kicking in. You can see it's just not there for them. In terms of Rabbi Matondo, I mean, I had a laugh.
I'm not happy. That's a drama. I'm saying as if I'm happy. I'm not happy.
And of course we're not.
You throw
Listen,
at me all the
this
time.
guy
And I'm
plays for Rangers, and we have a joke. It's maybe not coming across in the pod, but we have a joke. And Matondo's on the ball. I am over exaggerated in terms of positivity, to a point that it looks as if I'm related to him. It's quite embarrassing, but I'm just hoping that he pulls something off so I can have a go at the boys. I'm doing it because I know he's struggling, and I know he's not going to be a good sign for Rangers. It's very much like Nuno Capuccio. Rumours are that Rangers tried to get rid of him with cash for kids, and they couldn't get rid of him. The cash for kids wouldn't take him, and it's that bad with Matondo at the moment. It's just really struggling, and I think he's trying, but it's just, I would be very confident in saying that it's not going to work out with Rangers and Rabbi Matondo, and it's very much a case of move him on when we can, if we can.
If we can, yeah. Instead of doing a man of the match, because look, tonight wasn't the best. It is a win, I get that. Some people don't like our negativity, but we've got to call it how we see it, and that performance is not particularly great. We'll just do our Merry Christmas. Ali, wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all the listeners and watchers out there. I met Shona and Asda the other day. It was nice to talk to you. Well, we were bought a beverage in Auctioneers tonight by a mystery punter who did not want to give his name.
Body warmer,
body warmer, but thanks
guy.
very much. His mum watched it as well. That was much appreciated. But no, Merry Christmas to everyone when it comes, and hopefully Rangers can deliver 2 more performances in the next 2 games to give us a good Merry Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, Scotia, I say Merry Christmas to everybody.
I'm sure it was called Anon, not Akon. Anon. Is that his name? Anon.
Who?
Anon. That was the boy.
Oh, was that his name?
That was
Anon. Anon. I don't know.
This is past all their boys' heads. It was a terrible joke. I apologise for that. And everyone love him. Very Merry Christmas.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about.
A couple of pints.
Come to me. I'm pretty sure your name's not Anon. Listen, I met you in Bucks Bar, and you said you'd watched the podcast, and you bought us a beer in the Auctioneers, which is very much greatly received by the boys. We were so happy to meet you and talk to you. You didn't want to shout out, but thank you very much, mate. Merry Christmas, everyone, and no offence to anybody with a brat cash for kids Matondo joke. That was maybe poorly put, but I'm just saying that I don't think anybody wants Rabbi Matondo. But hey, there's a home for everyone at Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Right, that'll do. Yes, Merry Christmas, everybody. I think at least me and Scotia are going to be back on Tuesday. We'll do a club deck. You said you were.
Oh no, I should be. Sorry.
Well, we might be back on Tuesday with a club deck corner. But if not, we'll. I mean, you can sober up, like. But we'll definitely be back after the Motherwell game. So yes, have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for your support so far over this year. And we'll speak to you all very, very soon. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.